Once upon a time, in the ancient city of Savatthi, there lived a young man named Anuruddha. Anuruddha was known for his kind heart and curious mind. Despite coming from a wealthy family and having everything he could wish for, Anuruddha often felt restless and unhappy. He constantly worried about what others thought of him, felt jealous when his friends succeeded, and got angry when things didn't go his way. One day, Anuruddha heard that the Buddha was visiting Savatthi and would be giving a teaching at the monastery. Hoping to find answers to his problems, Anuruddha decided to attend the Buddha's teaching. The morning was bright and clear as Anuruddha made his way to the monastery. The path was lined with trees whose leaves rustled softly in the wind, and the air was filled with the sweet songs of birds. When he arrived, he found a large crowd gathered around the Buddha, who sat calmly under a Bodhi tree. The Buddha began his teaching with a gentle smile. "Dear friends," he said, "today I will tell you a story about 3 friends who faced common human problems and found a way to overcome them." Anuruddha listened intently as the Buddha continued. "In a small village not far from here," the Buddha began, "there lived 3 close friends named Rahula, Kema, and Upali. Each of them had different struggles that made their lives difficult. Rahula was always worried about what others thought of him. He would spend hours trying to impress people, but he never felt satisfied. Kema was very jealous of others' successes. Whenever someone achieved something, she felt a deep sense of envy and couldn't find joy in their happiness. Upali had a quick temper. He would get angry over small things and often found himself in arguments and conflicts. One day, the 3 friends heard that the Buddha was nearby, and they decided to seek his guidance. They traveled together to the monastery, hoping to find answers to their problems. When they arrived, they found the Buddha sitting peacefully under a tree. They bowed respectfully and shared their struggles with him. The Buddha listened with compassion and said, "I will share with you the story of a wise farmer named Suchimukha who faced similar problems and found a way to overcome them." The friends sat down, eager to hear the story. "In a village much like yours," the Buddha began, "lived a farmer named Suchimukha. Suchimukha was known for his wisdom and kindness, but he too had his share of struggles. He often worried about what others thought of him, felt jealous of his neighbor's success, and had a quick temper. One day, Suchimukha decided to visit a wise hermit who lived in the mountains. He hoped the hermit could help him find peace. After a long and challenging journey, Suchimukha finally reached the hermit's hut. The hermit welcomed him with a warm smile and invited him to sit. Suchimukha shared his struggles, and the hermit listened quietly. After a moment of reflection, the hermit said, "Suchimukha, I will teach you 3 practices that can help you overcome your problems: mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience." Suchimukha looked puzzled but eager to learn. The hermit continued, "Mindfulness. First, practice mindfulness. This means being fully present in each moment without worrying about the past or future. When you are mindful, you can see things clearly and understand that your worries are often based on fears that are not real." The hermit then instructed Suchimukha to focus on his breath, to feel each inhale and exhale, and to observe his thoughts without getting caught in them. Suchimukha practiced mindfulness daily, and over time, he found that his worries about others' opinions began to fade. He realized that true happiness came from within, not from external approval. Loving kindness. Next, the hermit taught Suchimukha about loving kindness. "When you feel jealous," the hermit said, "focus on loving kindness. This means wishing happiness and well-being for others, just as you would for yourself. When you practice loving kindness, you can transform jealousy into joy for others' successes." Suchimukha began to practice loving kindness by silently wishing happiness for his neighbors and friends. He would say to himself, "May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be at peace." Gradually, he found that his jealousy melted away, and he felt genuine joy for others' achievements. Patience. Finally, the hermit taught Suchimukha about patience. "When you feel anger rising," the hermit said, "take a deep breath and remind yourself to be patient. Patience is the ability to remain calm and composed, even in difficult situations. It helps you see things clearly and respond with wisdom. Suchimuka practiced patience by taking deep breaths whenever he felt angry and reminding himself to stay calm. He also reflected on the consequences of his anger and realized that it often led to more problems. With time, he found that he could handle conflicts with a clear mind and a compassionate heart. The Buddha paused and looked at Rahula, Kema, and Upali. By practicing mindfulness, loving-kindness, and patience, Suchimuka transformed his life. He found inner peace and happiness that were not dependent on others. You too can overcome your struggles by following these practices. The three friends thanked the Buddha and returned to their village with a renewed sense of hope. They began to practice mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience in their daily lives. Rahula started by being mindful of his thoughts and actions. He focused on the present moment and let go of his worries about others' opinions. He found that he could enjoy simple pleasures, like the beauty of a flower or the sound of a bird's song, without needing external validation. Kema practiced loving kindness by wishing happiness for others. She would silently repeat phrases like, "May you be happy," "May you be healthy," "May you be at peace," whenever she felt jealous. Over time, she found that her heart was filled with joy and compassion rather than envy. Upali worked on his patience by taking deep breaths and reminding himself to stay calm whenever he felt anger rising. He also reflected on the consequences of his anger and chose to respond with kindness and understanding. He found that his relationships improved and he experienced fewer conflicts. As the days turned into weeks, the three friends noticed significant changes in their lives. Rahula no longer felt the need to impress others and found contentment in being himself. Kema celebrated others' successes and felt a deep sense of joy and connection. Upali became known for his calm demeanor and ability to handle difficult situations with grace. Their village also began to change. Inspired by the transformations in Rahula, Kema, and Upali, other villagers started to practice mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience. The community became more harmonious, and people supported and cared for one another. Anuruddha listened to the Buddha's story with rapt attention. He realized that his own struggles were similar to those of Rahula, Kema, and Upali. Determined to change, Anuruddha decided to practice mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience in his own life. He began by being mindful of his thoughts and actions, focusing on the present moment and letting go of his worries about others' opinions. He practiced loving kindness by silently wishing happiness for others, even those he felt jealous of. He worked on his patience by taking deep breaths and staying calm in difficult situations. Over time, Anuruddha noticed a profound change within himself. He no longer felt restless and unhappy. Instead, he felt a deep sense of inner peace and contentment. He realized that true happiness came from within, from understanding and accepting the nature of life. Anuruddha continued to visit the Buddha, sharing his experiences and seeking guidance. The Buddha would listen with a smile, offering words of wisdom and encouragement. Anuruddha's journey was far from over, but he had taken the first steps towards a life of inner happiness and self-reliance. And so, in the ancient city of Savatthi, Anuruddha's story became an inspiration to others. The villagers admired his transformation and sought to follow his example. They too began to practice mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience, creating a community filled with harmony and compassion. As the years went by, Anuruddha grew into a wise and compassionate young man. He continued to learn and grow, always seeking to deepen his understanding of life. He knew that the journey to inner happiness was a lifelong one, but he embraced it with an open heart and a curious mind. And so, the story of Anuruddha and the power of mindfulness became a cherished tale in the village. It was a reminder to all that true happiness comes from within, and that by practicing mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience, we can find contentment and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Moral of the story. The moral of this story is that true happiness and inner peace come from within ourselves, not from external sources or the approval of others. By practicing mindfulness, loving kindness, and patience, we can transform our worries, jealousy, and anger into contentment, joy, and compassion. These practices help us understand and accept the nature of life, allowing us to find lasting happiness and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Thank you for watching. If you found this story inspiring and valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Your support helps us bring more uplifting stories and mindful practices to our community. Stay tuned for more, and let's journey towards inner peace and happiness together.